to do open heart surgery. Knowledge is not in the lines of books. Knowledge is in the hearts of man. And this is what our tradition teaches us, mashallah. Which is why, whatever you feel during the day today, you treat this as a journey. Anything interesting you find, and especially once we start making the sharah of the matan, the sharah of the text itself, then you would want to write, perhaps to remind yourself of this day, that you might reflect, make tafakkur of it many years down the line, inshallah. On another matter, I know that all of us are very busy, myself in particular. But it just so happens that my own specialty and my own field is Islamic studies. My specialty at the university is Islamic theology and Islamic philosophy. I study the great Muslim thinkers, the great minds of the Muslims, whether those thinkers belong to the Sunni schools like Imam al-Ghazali, for example, whom we are about to read, or those that do not belong to the Sunni schools like Ibn Sina, a great physician in his own right, and so on and so forth. So I consider myself, mashallah, I count the blessings that Allah has given me to be able to be in a field where at least it's close to my heart. To read Arabic, to read the works of these great masters and to translate them and to propagate the works of these great masters and so on and so forth. Some of you may have that interest, maybe not in this particular field, but maybe, let's say, in art or in literature and whatever you have, and I encourage you should have that. Don't be like me, maybe a nerdish theologian. That's all I do. Then I don't go into other fields. But as a doctor in particular, as a professional in particular, I think you should learn to cultivate your mental faculties. Science is a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing in the sense that it makes you too objective at times. You have to learn to try and free your spirit a bit. You have to be a bit more artistic to a certain extent. You have to learn to express yourself as well. This is the great advantage of you students, especially medical students, coming to this country. Being able to fulfill the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ in a hadith which is da'if. It's not hadith sahih, hadith which is da'if, a weak hadith, but the rules with the weak hadith is very clear. The rules with hadith yang lemah is very clear. That you can use hadith which are da'if, even if it is not sahih, even if it is not hasan, for example, as long as it's not really, it will not be used for the purposes of making something wajib or haram or batal and fasid and so on and so forth. But if it is to use for the purposes of like today, to give you encouragement, to give you motivation, to give hikayah, as Imam Nawawi radiallahu anhu, one of the great Imams of the Shafi'i, says very clearly, yes, by all means, use those hadith da'if. Because hadith da'if is not the same level as hadith mawdu'. Not the same level as a fabricated hadith. Because the way we look at it, even if a hadith is da'if, there is a 1% possibility that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam could have said it. Therefore, we do not want to deny that. Whereas mawdu' is for sure, yes, someone else said it, for example. So you are fulfilling the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Itlabul ilma walau bisin. Seek knowledge even unto China. MashaAllah. Seek knowledge even unto China. This is your China. This is your China, people. I mean, in that hadith, China, during the time of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and even today, that is the majority of Chinese in China, except for Xinjiang, for example, and Xi'an, and parts of the areas that surround Tibet, which is in the news recently. They're minority Muslims, but majority of the Han Chinese are not Muslims. So, during the time of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that go and seek knowledge, even if it is to a non-Muslim land. And the meaning of sin, the meaning of China there is that to the furthest of the earth, to the final frontier. To boldly go where no one in your kampung has gone before. Yes, that's the enterprising spirit. Alhamdulillah. So you are fulfilling the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to go outside your tempurung. How do I translate that in Malay? In English, to go outside your tempayan. To go outside your... I'm running out of words here. Help me out, folks. To go outside your shell. Brilliant. Brilliant. There you go. MashaAllah. To go outside your shell. To break. And to go to a foreign land. To go to a non-Muslim land. Here, the Prophet gave us a command in this Arabic. Itlab fil amar. This is a verb in the imperative case. That means seek. What is seek in Malay? Carilah. Carilah. It means carilah with an exclamation mark. Seek knowledge even unto China. And this is what you are doing here. You have the advantage over your peers back in Malaysia, back in the Nusantara, where, and you know how it is. You've all been to. I've been deprived of that experience, but I heard so much about the, should I say horror stories, or shouldn't say horror stories. The reception is not good there. So. Training, camps, where you go to your asrama penuh and your grammar schools, yeah. And you know how in Malaysia, our seniors and our teachers are very strict in our government and our school are very strict. Schools are very strict on rules and protocols and so on and so forth. That you feel as if you are unable to breathe sometimes. Perhaps that's what I hear. I don't know this. Certain times, yes, time for prep, time for this, and time for that, and time for Yasin, time, it's like you're in a prison. You are, to an extent, you're even guided or conditioned how to think. But you are now in a land where you are able to, unlike your peers in Malaysia, who are at the or UKM, so even at the university, they still have to do asrama, the lights off goes belah. Subhanallah al-Azim. You have no lights off at 11 o'clock. And this is the problem. When you have no lights off at 11 o'clock, you lose control of yourself. So the game becomes the new hantu. Mambang PlayStation, Mambang Sony, Mambang whatever, Nintendo, whatever Mambang. In the time of our generation of Pirambi, of course, Mambang Tanah, Mambang Air, Mambang Laut. But in your generation, yes, you have the truly now, those philosophers will understand this amongst you, and you may not want to recognize and admit to this. Yes, those ghosts in the machine. Those ghosts in the machine. Now, but seriously, you being students here, mashallah, compared to your friends back home, you have the ability to join clubs and societies in this land, in this university, in that university that you would never think of if you were in your homeland. Nak pergi club hunting ke, nak pergi masuk club fishing ke, nak pergi masuk equestrian ke, or whatever it is, you see, and so on and so forth. Join a philosophy club, join this club. Amazing. Just the horizons, the opportunities that you have been given compared to your fellow students back home. So it is only right, therefore, that Allah has given you that amanah, that Allah has made you 1 degree better over your fellow students back home, that you should use that properly. Surely, that is expected of you vis-a-vis Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And only Allah can judge. No one here is to judge. No mahkamah of the dunya can judge what we do in that case. But there is something for us to reflect. Why did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, "Itlabul ilm walau bisin"? Seek knowledge even unto China, because of that. So that when we are in this land, see how these people live, see how these people work. Join in those funny societies and experience the